What's up guys, Chris here, back again with another video for you guys today. In tonight's video, I want to talk about the market and kind of what we've seen this year and kind of like my thoughts on it. I also want to talk about Monday's content and what we can expect in regards to like market rises, where to look, things like that you guys can do to day trade. So that's going to be in tonight's market watch video. Before we get into it, if you guys can just drop a like on the video and subscribe. If you're new around here, that'd be absolutely fantastic. If we can hit 100 likes on this video, that'd be awesome as well. So the way that the market has been this year, I know a lot of people are really frustrated with the coins that they are losing on this market. And the way that EA has been going the last couple years, they've been less investment worthy, and I feel like they've been more like knowledgeable about the market. I believe back in FIFA 19 was the first year they actually got themselves an economy team. So pretty much that team is there to kind of look at all of the different, fluctuations on the market, how they can control it better. Because back in like FIFA 18, FIFA, even early parts of FIFA 19, actually FIFA 19 in general, they didn't really have that much control over their market. They were starting to get a grasp a little bit, but still, it was really easy to make coins on the market back in those FIFAs, specifically with investing. So now you turn like the last 3 years, I'd say, and it has gotten harder each year. And what you're seeing this year, actually, in particular, is you're seeing so much supply on gold cards that these have been like the cheapest prices we've ever seen for golds at this point of the year, which is October 25th, the day I'm recording this video. But what you're also seeing this year is you're seeing the top, and I mean the top tier icon market, become so much like less accessible as we've gone on the last couple of years. They've kind of gone through this whole idea that we're going to make icons more accessible through icon swaps and through icon SBCs. Now, back in FIFA 18, they would release an R9 SBC for less than 3 million coins. They would release a Vieira for less than 2 million coins. I believe Vieira back in FIFA 19, even when we had that huge fiasco when they released the primes instead of the moments, the prices of the SBCs weren't even that bad. To tell you the truth, though, they have made them less accessible over the last 3 FIFAs, from FIFA 20, 21, and now 22. If you take a look at some of the biggest icons in this game, if you take a look at 90 Ruud Gullit right now, 90 Ruud Gullit is 8.2 million coins. Now, this also has to do a lot with a lot of the pro scene is on the PS5 now, because that's what EA is pushing for their competitive scene. But you're seeing some of these prices on some of the top tier cards. There's just no way, any of us, unless we trade for, a long time, are going to be able to afford any of these cards. And then on the backside of that, you have this gold market that just seems like it's either being overinvested in or it's being supplied out of the wazoo. So what I recommend for a lot of you guys at the end of that point, essentially, is to just kind of go untradeable if you can. People in my chat, earlier today were like, well, what's the point of me trading if I can't go and buy players for my team? And I totally understand that. I think you guys can use your coins a lot for SBC players, the ones that are good value. Don't go and do some of the really bad valued SBCs, but, guys like Bernardo Silva right now that are in SBCs. I think it's a very nice priced SBC because, he's going to get a guaranteed +2, and his card is phenomenal, right? And I really think the price point there is good, and a lot of people have fodder. So you'll be able to do it for less than like 70,000 coins, and I think that's a pretty good steal for a card that's going to be in your team for a while. I think trying to go on tradable route is the best possible thing. When we get those player picks, when we get upgrades on Monday, and we'll talk about that, by the way, and some things you can buy for today's SBC in case we do get upgrades. Every Monday we get some sort of repeatable SBC, whether it's a 75+, whether it's a player pick. So that is a way for you guys to kind of get some of these cards untradeable in your teams as well, is by packing them, right? And every single Monday after 6 p.m., we've kind of seen like the market dip off a little bit because what is happening is people are selling their teams or selling their players to go fund these player picks, but they're also packing these cards because the pack weight is so high this year. If you go into the store right now, they have like this minimum overall per pack. So if you take a look at this mega pack, you have a guaranteed 82 plus player. In this one, a guaranteed 82 plus and a guaranteed 83 plus, which means that you're guaranteed a 83 or above, a board in every pack. What this is going to do is not only going to give more supply onto the market, but it might prevent rises of cards because they just have so much supply and people may be looking past those cards now at an even earlier rate than we've seen in previous FIFAs. You know, I'll show you guys right now. In FIFA 21, right, Kevin De Bruyne, by November, was like still 200 and something thousand coins. If you take a look at the first 3 months here, okay, I'm going to go up here, right? By November, he was still, 192, right? This is mid-November, by the way. This is pre-Black Friday, right? He goes all the way up to 180 by December 4th, and then really starts to come down. And we've known December to be a really tough month over the last 3 FIFAs, but the way that the market's going this year, I don't even want to know what December is going to do to this market because, these gold cards, and yes, this is the cycle of golds, right? You see this guy continuing to drop over and over and over again over time because he just continuously gets supplied in packs, and the demand for this card over time just goes a little bit lower, which allows the supply to take over, causing his price to drop. But if you then take a look at Kevin De Bruyne this year, and already Kevin De Bruyne in the market is 92,000 coins. And I believe he hit a low point on Saturday. He went down to 87, went back to 93, went down to 91, went back up to 97, and now he's like around 90 to 92. So, and this card is going to go lower by next Friday, most likely. So, people have been asking me these questions of, when do I buy my team? When do I sell certain players? In my opinion, like the way that the market is this year, you probably sell on a Sunday and you sell on a Monday as well before 6 p.m. content. But then you also can just buy it literally anytime, like between Tuesday and Saturday. Whenever you want to play with a card, you can make the purchase around then because, last Tuesday we saw the market absolutely get slaughtered. And they didn't even bring out UCL Blue supply yet, which I'm interested to see what they decide to do with that because it is in the game. They just haven't released those cards yet. So I think if you're ever wanting to buy a card for your team now, granted, can you be a little safer with some of your buys? Of course, you can go look at icons, right? The ones that have kind of been like really stable over the last, or rising over the last week or two. You could take a look at, maybe some out-of-pack specials, the ones that are really popular, catch them on the low of their graphs, right? Like for example, this Jesus probably stays quite high over the next little while because of the Bernardo SBC, right? The more people that do this SBC, the more people are going to try to link up this card. And actually right now, he's 198,000 coins. He peaked a few weeks ago at 221. He's still up around 200k. Now granted, he was like 178 before this, but he's now 198 to 200k. So, I think buying your out-of-pack stuff is probably going to be the wave, and if you take a look at, Road to the Knockout 1 cards, right, let me show you guys this. A lot of these cards are up out of packs, like Tonali's up a lot. This guy is 85,000 coins right now. From Friday, he was 56,000 coins. He's now up to 85k out of packs. And the reason why I think you're seeing such a big rise, look at this Sane, by the way. He was 300k. He's 390 now. And the reason why I think you're seeing a lot of these rises is because there's no middle ground in this market. It's either you have a low budget type of team or you have the highest budget team. And these specials kind of filter out that mid-tier budget. And people over time are just not going to want to play with golds anymore. They'd rather go and spend on an 85 Vidal, who is a live card, by the way. Now, this was given to me on stream today, and I want to pull this up for you guys. But this is on FIFA Reddit. It gives you the column as to if they can get a +1 and a +2, and they gave you the percentages that their teams could get that. So if you look at Marquinhos here, he's 92% to get a +1 guaranteed. He's a 31% to get a guaranteed +2, right? So if you look at some of these percentages, Sané's a guarantee, Robertson's a guarantee, and they're almost likely to get a +2 as well. So if you take a look at this Andrew Robertson card, right, he's 280,000 coins right now. These cards are up a lot right now. In general, right now, they're up. Earlier today, they weren't this high. They were like 250, 260, and now he's up all the way to 280. So these guys are rising. The lack of supply, right? These guys get rare. These are some of the cards that I think we can invest in maybe out of packs. Not this particular team, of course, but maybe like for players that are in your team, you want to buy these before they go out of packs. Because regardless of, you know, if they drop like an SBC, if they drop another player that's similar in packs, then yes, your card may drop. But looking at this team right now and looking at maybe some of these earlier Team of the Week cards, right, they've done well out of packs. So obviously besides Team of the Week 4, which was a debacle, but that's because of the no loss glitch, I think like if we look at Road to the Knockout Team 2 cards, right, some of these guys have even had less supply. Like I'm looking at this Immobile card, right? This is a guy that if he drops over the next 2 days, I'm looking to pick this up because, you know, it's a Serie A striker. Not a great league, obviously, but links to the new Politano card that they just released. Lozano's like a dirt cheap inform. You can rock this like nice Serie A team. You got Tonali, you got Vidal, you got Barella. I mean, you got your midfield set there. You got Kessie as well. So I would look at some of these guys before they go to packs. I actually think these guys could rise a little bit today, these Roads to the Knockout Team 2 guys, just before 6 p.m. UK time. And then after that is really going to depend on the type of content EA brings out. I hope I'm like pretty clear with some of the stuff that I'm talking about right now. It's kind of like a little tangent, but you know, guys like El Shaarawy, I think El Shaarawy with, you know, if I look at his prediction right here, where is he? He's 97% to get a +1, and he's about 24% to get a +2. But even so, if he gets an 85 overall card, that's still a pretty good card. And I'm not sure if they get a +1 or it's an inform upgrade. So I forget if an 84 goes to an 86. Even so, this card looks really good. I think he's got 5-star skills still. No, they actually downgraded him to a 4-star. But still, right, 28,000 coins. If this guy drops a little bit further, you know, anytime between Monday and Tuesday, look to pick up some of these guys for your teams. I think these guys could drop off a little bit more, depending on the content EA releases. And then they go to packs Wednesday, right? And that's going to be an opportunity, I think, for these guys to go up in price as their supply dries up over time. And these are live cards, okay? So people are buying them with an intent. So that's kind of like my whole fix, really, when it comes to like the market right now, with the Road to the Knockout Team 2s, when to buy certain players, things like that, icons, all that. So now let me get to you with the content drop today and what we could be seeing. So we've been getting these repeatables every single Monday, and you know, something that we've noticed over the last couple weeks is they've been giving, I think, 4 or 5 players in each set of SBC that you have to put in. Now, if you look at gold common strikers right now, they're currently 400 coins or less. What you could do, and this guy's actually ahead of the curve right now, he is bidding on every single non-rare gold striker that is like 300 or 400 coins. And the reason why he's doing that is, let me show you guys Mitrovic, for example, just a random striker from last week, right? If I show you guys right here, this is him on Sunday. He goes to 500 on October 18th. This was a week ago, and he goes all the way up to 900 the next day. And the reason why this happens is because people are you know, they don't have as much non-rares in their club. Once they end up using all of their non-rares, they start buying on the market, because what ends up happening, guys, is people are addicted to player picks. They're addicted to repeatable packs. And just like I said to you earlier in the video, right, I would recommend you maybe putting some of your coins rather than you know, buying that specific player for your team. And I get it might sound weird, like, why is he telling me to do packs instead of, you know, and gambling rather than just go and buy the player? Because I think that the market is so fragile, with especially the impact market, that I just think that, you know, it's very risky to kind of hold stuff more than 24 hours in this market if it's gold. So, you know, today, if you guys want to, just before the content drop, it's a pretty no-risk investment. If you buy these guys at like 400, you look at the cams, you look at the center mids as well, right? Maybe you look at good nationalities, they may go up a little bit further. Just start picking some of this stuff up, right? Because these cards, you know, they need to get chemistry as well. I think it's about 15 chem. So people would like to have 2 strikers, 2 cams. They should be able to get the 15 chem that way. If you guys want to, I mean, these are literally no-risk investments right now. You guys can go buy them 350 on bid, 400. You really won't lose coins on that, and you can just see if it goes up later today. Don't go all in, but you can go buy like 20, see what happens with them. Another thing I want to talk about today is rewards. So we are going to be getting rewards in about 2 hours from now when I'm recording this video. And last week on Monday morning, we had a nice market rise. We saw some really nice cards rise that they were, kind of needed with like links to SBCs and type of teams people were building. I expect the market to go up a bit more earlier this morning, and then obviously it depends on the content drop. If it's going to continue rising after that, if we get no content today, then I expect the market to probably just keep rising because it's a pretty healthy market. If there's no content, people don't really have to panic about not buying their teams, right? So they'll look to, play games today on Monday with the lack of content. But if there is content, then I do expect there to be another drop off on the market, later today. Now I'm looking to pick up this, and the menus, by the way, recently have been absolutely tragic. But I'm going to try to pick up a couple Llorentes, because I know he went up a good amount last Monday. And I'm trying to pick him up on his low right now. He was 139 earlier today. Didn't really rise that much from awards, but I'm just going to take a punt on this guy. Right, if I get some at like 130 and under, sell for like 142. That's not bad for me. I wouldn't mind that. Earlier this morning, if you take a look at his supply, right, there is a little bit of supply that he does need to go through, but it's really not that much, actually, when you really think about it. This is about, like, when EU wakes up, these guys could inch up a little bit, so I'm kind of hoping I can get this 133. Okay, so I'm not going to be able to get that. So I'm just going to buy some stuff that I know has been rising over the last couple weeks on Mondays. I bought a De Jong, and the reason why I like De Jong, guys, is because he's out of packs, and he's actually down in price. So, he hit like a peak of 113, 114. I picked one up at 107 with a shadow. And if you want to, in the future, guys, by making coins on Mondays, just buy cars that have been rising recently. I would pick up that this Kimpembe at 60k, but because this guy is probably guaranteed 66, 66 and a half after awards today. I would try to buy these guys with chem styles on them, like shadows and hunters, depending on, what position they play. I would really try to get them with chem styles, because you could sell them a bit further in price. So I'm expecting the market to rise a little bit today. I expect some of these roads to the knockouts. I remember last week, road to the knockout team 1 guys went up. I remember Dan Juma went up. I remember a lot of these guys did do well in price after once FUT Champs was completed. That's when they started to rise right after that. If you take a look at this, Immobile here, he was 195, went down to 130, back to 145, and now he's chilling at 140, right? Maybe this is something I'm looking at in the low 130s, right? And I'm not saying this is a guarantee to rise, right? But we're just kind of looking at some cards that, based on prior trends, wasn't that bad of a look last week. So, maybe I get on that bid there at 130. Maybe I get on that bid right there at 121. That bid right there at 100. And listen, these Team 2 mini release guys don't have that much supply. So I think that of the guys that you could see the most rise in, I would take a look at, and right there, you have like a 135 Immobile. That's not a bad price, right? But if you look at Mali, for example, right? He's a right back with a lot of pace. Right back kind of fits a need in the Serie A. So just kind of keep your eyes peeled for a lot of that stuff. Amavi going out of packs, Tapsoba, right? Just buy some of these guys. They could rise a bit. Also, what we saw earlier today, just quickly, was we saw some of these guys actually inch up in price. Some of the cheap discard ones. And I say discard as in they're the cheapest ones out of all of them. But if you take a look at this Amavi card, right? He was 30,000 coins. And he went all the way to 32. And the reason why you saw such a big drop off after Sunday 6 p.m. content. So I think some of these guys were being invested in a little bit with potential road to the knockout requirement for another player SBC. So I would keep your eyes out on that too. If you see a Mavi and Tapsoba drop a little bit lower, maybe that's something you could look to pick up, sell into the hype on Monday, Monday afternoon, Monday evening. But other than that, it's a long video. I do apologize. Thank you for watching. More videos are coming out on the channel. And I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.